Well, Mr. Vogt, thank you very much for being here. I just wanted to tell my colleague that I'm not a crusty old guy. But, you know, as I sit here, I have to say, you have all the lingo. You know, I wrote down some of these expressions that, you know, to defend some of the issues. We're on track, commitment to seniors, fully continue, saving into the programs. Pretty good. Did the and then I get attacked saying that we never do a budget. In your memory, did the Republicans ever not do a budget in the last 14 years that I've been here?
Did they ever not do a budget?
No, not do it, but introduce a budget and pass the resolution for a budget.
They certainly did. When I was here, we were doing budgets every year. It was, in fact, it was one
Even
of the
when
major
Bush, I
must-pass.
remember Bush.
Many, many years under Bush, we were doing budgets. It was one of the major must-pass pieces of legislation every year.
Was the war funded outside the budget?
Was the what?
The war in Iraq funded outside the budget?
I believe we were funding the war as that version of the OCO account.
So it was outside the budget, basically.
It was funded, substantial portions were funded within, it was a budget resolution
Right.
that accounted for spending that was that versions of the OCO designation. It's not like it just gets ignored.
Yeah, but it was outside the budget, the resolution.
No, it's not, actually. It's within the deficit totals that have to be added up over a course of 5 or 10 years, whatever your window is.
You know, one of the programs that I favor always is the CDGB programs. And I think it's one of the ways where communities can really help their community and save money. Because any time you use money from the CDGB, you're not passing it on basically to the local community tax. I just don't know if sometimes people here realize how many places you use the CDG money for to help seniors, to help centers, to help job growth, to help, you know, fixing streets. And yet, every year we have to fight because you just want to cut it. I mean, this is one of the few programs that helps local communities. You know, at a time where money's short in these communities. So I never understand that.
Well,
Okay.
Congressman, it's a program we've spent about $150 billion on it. We still think that there's too much flexibility within the program. Let me give you an example.
But that's the beauty of the program, where you give the
Nearly
community.
$1 million to spend on giving the Greenwich Historical Society upgrades. Greenwich, Connecticut. I live 30 minutes away from Greenwich, Connecticut. They have more than enough resources as a rich community to pay for all of the historical upgrades that they
But there's also community using for Meals on Wheels and hiring people to take the meals to senior that can't move.
No, Meals on Wheels is funded out of the
No,
ACL.
we used it, CDGB money was used for that.
Minuscule.
Well, but communities do use it.
Meals on Wheels is funded fully under the ACL agency, under the Department of Health and Human Service under this budget.
Well, all I can tell you is that we use CDGB money to do that, okay? Now, the other issue, I was here when Obama took over. How was the economy then?
We
it a
were in the midst
disaster?
of a significant recession.
I remember Paulson coming, I was in financial services, Paulson coming in and telling me that the world is coming to an end, financial houses are going under, auto industry going under. In over 8 years, did the Obama administration create jobs?
My recollection of the Obama administration is that we lost 200,000 manufacturing jobs.
We losing 200, we
millions
losing
of
manufacturing jobs with this
unemployment
administration
under
also.
the Obama administration. That this
I'm not talking
president-
about manufacturing jobs. Were there jobs created during the Obama administration by the end of his term?
I can't tell you based on where it started versus where it ended, but we lost manufacturing
No,
jobs.
I just love
in-
this selective memory that you have. All I can tell you is, you know, this president in 3 years, you will think that he has done this wonderful thing that it was never done before. Jobs were created, growth was there by the end of the Obama administration, and I got to put up with this nonsense that we somehow didn't do anything to save this country. We saved the auto industry, we saved AIG, We save some of these banks, and yet he thinks he did it all by himself. Like I say, you're good. You got all the right lingo. Thank you very much.
Gentleman's time has expired, and I recognize the gentleman from Oklahoma.